Oh, we're live. Hey, Inspired Tribe, how's it going? Welcome to the Inspired Livestream here on the Inspired channel. We're excited that you're here. I'm Jean Nolan. This is Kristin Nolan, my wonderful wife, who is looking at the phone and welcoming you all and has a very bewildered look on her face right now.
Yeah, because you look like that on my phone.
What does it look like? It's a bad connection. Well, Inspired Tribe, we're going to fix that. You all can fix a bad connection. Let's have a clear, pure, and beautiful connection. And let us know if you can see me well. I'm going to welcome. Camera is not clear. That is not on our end, guys. We have a perfect screen here. So this might be on YouTube's end. If you can hear me fine, let me know, please. But let me welcome you all who's tuned in today. I see Rebecca, Mega Dramatist. I see LA Blackzed, is that right? Or EI Blackzed. Illy is tuning in. Welcome. Gary, welcome. B. Schuller, Phil, Frank, Sonia, welcome everyone. So good to see you. Steve is here.
Oh, no, we're good.
Yeah, so the whatever is pixeled, it isn't on us. It's probably on YouTube. But Inspired Tribe, welcome to the stream. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. We're here together. And we love that we get together like this. Wicked Willie and his conspiracy theory tuned in. That's an original name. Thumbs up for that. Elaine is tuned in. Maria from Sweden is tuned in. Good to see you all. We're excited. We're excited for a beautiful live stream. And for those of you who haven't really paid attention to what I just said, we're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. That's the mantra of the live stream. It's been for 193 times, I believe, today. So we're approaching 200 live streams. I mean, that's just the scheduled ones. That's not the little things in between. We're also, I think, on our path to, let's say first 170, 175,000 subscribers, but I believe we're going to get to the 200,000 quick. It's just happening. We're not forcing anything. It's just a beautiful natural expansion. We're going to dive into an important topic today as people are tuning in. Good to see you all. Is it Mikhail or Michael? Is it just a different spelling? I don't know. Kathy's here. Then Mirethi is here. Johansson. I'm butchering this. I'm sure I'm butchering this. I'm so sorry. I get my name butchered, but you know. Eddie is here. Welcome. Julie is here. Yeah, please introduce yourself in the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from. Today, we're diving into a very important topic. And here's the thing, people. What we're doing here always, as everyone's tuning in, remember, we're peeling the onion. This is not about, alertness, and this is not about pushing some sort of mega message. It's about peeling the onion and getting to the true power of things. But as we are in such a dense, energetic mode right now, everything's coming up again. It's a very, for some people, very tiring time. I feel it myself, not really waking up rested. A lot's going on during the nights. And just so you know, we have those energetic periods that are planets. So that's something we never need to underestimate. Let me open with a beautiful, one of my favorite sayings of all times, such great wisdom. Before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. Inspired Tribe. Let me see who all tuned in. There you go. All right. Let's dive into it. So the topic today, the title of this live stream is "We're close to a big global breakthrough." We are close to a big global breakthrough, and that is true. Now, what makes me say that? I'm going to go to the outer signs, and then I'm going to go to what is the missing piece in this right now. Why things are not moving faster and they're more visible, and this is really this is the missing piece. And once we get to this and remind ourselves of this, it'll go faster. We'll get it faster. But what we're seeing is, first of all, things are getting really loud on the outside, and in not to go too deep into military jargon here, but in warfare, when the enemy is really loud, it usually is a sign that they are having troubles. What's going on?
She's saying you're fuzzy. I know it's you're fuzzy and then not fuzzy and fuzzy and not fuzzy.
Very sorry, but this is
It's YouTube.
yeah, it's YouTube. It's not on us. But I want to let you know, in warfare, when the enemy gets really loud, that's a good sign that they're desperate. And out of desperation come really big mistakes and really big fuck ups, if you will. Pardon my French. But this is what we're seeing on the outside. We're seeing everything is being increased, everything is being intensified. And we received a wonderful message the other day from higher consciousness, and I'll share this with you in a minute here. But what we're seeing is if you follow that, and we don't really follow any of the media, but it gets certain messages get to us, and of course we see compilations to get a little bit of a glimpse on where the messaging is. But the messaging is red alert, everything's really bad, everything's going in the wrong direction, fear. And when that happens, it usually means that the control grip is slowly loosening. It's not working anymore. It's not, people, they're just throwing mud against the wall and see what sticks, and nothing really sticks anymore, especially not for longer periods of time. And so that's what tells us that we have truly, we're approaching a big shift moment in this whole movement here. And one thing on the energetic level that we were made aware of just a couple of days, that's so beautiful, so logical. It was right in front of our eyes. Why this is not working as well anymore is because our body is divinely created. It has beautiful mechanisms. One of those mechanisms is that we can get into fear mode, right? That can be a very positive thing, or call it fight or flight mode. When we are in true danger, when there's real danger, then we have two options, and our body only focuses on those two options. Are we either going to fight and approach the situation, or are we going to run away from it? Those two reactions are simply survival reactions. There's nothing more to it. No creativity, no nothing. So when we are in danger for our lives, we either run or we fight, both to survive. And we make those decisions then instinctively. And so what this messaging over the past 18 months has been trying to put us in this constant mode of fear and fight or flight constantly. But what happens is, if you are in extended periods of fight or flight mode, your body shuts down the fear hormone production, because it cannot sustain the levels of heightened excitement and hormonal excitement. Because what happens in this is that all the unnecessary functions of the body gets shut down, and everything focuses on the brain, on the heart, and the lung, the main organs that you need immediately. And over longer periods of time, the feeling of fear and the hormonal to relax. And this is what we're seeing. People are starting to fear messaging. It's a very, very wonderful sign. And what is also happening, and this is the bigger picture, of course, but every time this happens, every time you have such a more relaxed state of beings, and maybe not the grand mass, but a big portion of people, then you see a jump in awareness and a jump in consciousness also. Because once you go through a couple of days of relaxation and kind of, I'm just chilling out here, you see things are really not that bad. It's really not as bad as it looks. So what we're currently seeing is heightened messaging on the outside, but on a consciousness level, we see a really, really cool shift. We see a really cool raising of consciousness. And now, because we're approaching this, and what will this look like? Because for years and years and years, people thought the awakening, the ascension, the new way of living together, whatever you want to call it, will be kind of a one-time event. One day you wake up one morning, the world will be different, we'll be in a better place, we'll all feel love and light, and we'll all be abundant. And I don't want to sound sarcastic, but no change that I've ever experienced was that sudden and intense in one moment. And the reason being, I think we couldn't perceive it. We couldn't really accept it. We couldn't acknowledge it if we didn't have the journey there. And so we had a good journey, and we had a few breakthrough moments too over the past months. We're not seeing it as clearly, but they're there. But we're approaching a bigger breakthrough. And in this bigger breakthrough, you will see um, you will see certain behaviors and patterns that are going to replicate and repeat and be presented all across the planet. And what does this look like on a practical level? Because that's what's really interesting. You can look at it, and we always approach things first from the energetic level, but then we go into the how does this practically apply to our reality. And so what we will see, and we'll peel the onion here, what we will see is a movement of non-compliance to the highest levels, not just in the regular population. You will see a movement of non-compliance in law enforcement. You will see a movement of non-compliance in government structures. And this is something that's really important to remember. When in the past dictatorships or authoritarian regimes were ended, there was only a very, very short period, usually, of violence, if at all, that really led to that. What really leads to that is when people say, no, we're not doing it anymore. We're not participating anymore, because that is the greatest power that you have in the moment. It's not a greatest creative power. It's just withdrawing energy from one thing. And then what is the question? Where do we put our energy? What do we want? That's what we're going to get to in a minute here. But the first thing you need to realize and ask yourself, am I still a victim of my reality? Am I still a reactor to the reality, or am I a creator of reality? That's a choice. Even if you don't know yet how that works, that is a choice. If you continue to be a victim of reality and just a reactor to outside happenings in the world, then nothing big's going to improve in your life, because you have not yet discovered your true power, that you are a co-creator in that reality, and that your innermost reality, your immediate surroundings, are very much your own creation. Something that can be triggering for people when they're first introduced to that concept, but it's very empowering when you dive deeper into it and realize everything you experience in your life, your relationships, your friends, your job, your hobbies, your belief systems, is a very much a co-creation of you and everyone you're in contact with, of course, but it is very much coming from here. And so that's a really important question. For this coming breakthrough, we really need an awakening of the knowing that we are not victims, not reactors to reality, but we are creators of reality. Really, really important. And how does this come into play? It's kind of weaving a net here. That's what we're doing, bringing it all together. Because as Kristin and I always say, spirituality is only as impactful as it is a place that you cannot see how to apply them in your life. They're not valuable. I'm just gonna wait here. Okay, I think we're back. We're losing connection, and I think people are live stream. It's all good, YouTube. Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
It's all we're all here for a loving, uniting. It includes all of you, YouTube. We love you too. And so spirituality is only as good and as important in our lives as much as we can really apply it to our lives. So in order to get to this co-creative mode, we have talked about this in past live streams, and this is getting important. These teachings have been around in many different forms for many, many years, but it's now the time to apply. Joe Dispenza says a beautiful thing. Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you don't know him, look him up. He says a beautiful thing. He says, we're at a time in our history where it's not enough to know how. It's not enough to know, but it's more important to know how and to do it. So we're moving from theoretical understanding to practical application in our lives. And that's what's happening, because the breakthrough that we're going to see on a global level, it is going to feel something wonderful is going to happen. I know we all have this sinking feeling a lot of times when we wake up in the morning that it might be a beautiful day, and we might, even live a beautiful life, which we do. But there's this layer of heaviness that is almost like a veil that is above this, our whole reality here on Earth. And I know that so many of us have been waiting all our lives to feel what it feels like when this veil is lifted, and when there's a lightness to life, and when colors get more intense, and sounds get more intense, and we're approaching this time. I can feel it. And the reason why I know so clearly that I am a co-creator of reality is because I have co-created my own reality. The things that I thought about, the things that I envisioned, and Christine and I envisioned over years, the things that we have worked on, that we have put our love and energy into, we're living those things now. We're living that which we created first and foremost in the invisible realm through visions. We're living this now. So there's no doubt in our minds that we are creating and co-creating on a big scale. We're even living in an environment that, compared to the rest of the world, is very, very free and open. There's no restrictions for us here. And so I don't want to point fingers and say you did something wrong and we did you towards your highest vision. What is that vision? So many of us have been brought up in the belief that we cannot co-create our reality, that we are victims and reactors to reality, and that we need to just find a way to function in the current reality. But if we flip the script and realize we are the ones who are creating it, we can actually achieve great things. And that's what we've been doing on a collective scale over the past decades. And the moment is here. The moment of shifting is here. And those shifts will happen in all areas of society. It might look like everything's falling apart and everything's breaking apart and things don't function the way they used to, but that has to happen. It's called disruption. Nothing can change without disruption. Disruption is the moment when something comes to an end and something new begins, and that little phase in between, that's the disruptive process. We all have to get used to new things. We all have to get create new thoughts, ideas, visions on how this is going to work. And this is the time where you do it. And if there's anything still holding you back, I encourage you to go back to a couple live streams ago that was called Our Indian Moment and the Three Healers. And I want to recap real quickly what those three healers are in our lives. Those three healers unlock everything in our inner reality and in our outer reality. It is true. We have lived this in our lives all over the years. We have seen this in our clients. Christina's been working. This is her passion. This is her heart. This is her soul, to help people and show them how to thrive. And these three healers is what she does all the time with them. And the first healer in life is to forgive. And this is the time. There's no more waiting, procrastinating. Forgive yourself. Forgive those who have hurt you. And you cannot just do this on the mental level. It isn't enough. You have to go deep enough to the soul level. And so forgive on that deep level. And then the second healer, once that healing has taken place on the forgiveness part, the second healer comes in. You begin asking louder and louder and louder, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And the purpose part, so misunderstood. People think, oh, just presidents and celebrities have big purpose, or doctors or scientists, or, for some it's preachers have purpose. No. 8 billion people, 8 billion purposes. And people have multiple purposes, big, small, grand, little, seen, unseen. All of that is purpose. And that's the second healer, to find out what you're here for in this moment in time, and then begin applying that. And the third healer, and that's where we're at right now collectively, is creating a new vision for your life, a new vision for your future, a new vision for your community, for your country, for the whole world. And we're not talking about anything that's been out there. We're not talking about any agenda. We're not talking about any UN or Great Reset, any of that. We're talking that is so much more. It's in line with love, with kindness, with freedom, pure freedom too. And this is what is required of us in this time, because when we say this big shift is coming, it also means we need to be ready for the period in between, and we need to have the vision, because the vision is what gets you through the moments when on the outside everything seems in chaos. And in our lives, we have experienced this over and over and over again. We created a vision. We dove into it. It became stronger and stronger. We lived it. We talked about it. We loved it. We breathed it. We meditated on it. It became us. And then, usually, a disruptive moment would happen in our lives that would look like it's the opposite of our vision. But that's the moment of the switch. That's the moment of the flip. That's the moment when things begin to change for for your vision, not against your vision. And those are the moments where you need to have clear knowing, trust, strength of what's unfolding here. So as things become chaotic, it's actually a sign of change. It's actually a sign of shift. And then we need to not buy into the idea that there are outside people who are going to tell us how this new reality, what it looks like. It's us. It's our moment. It's not the moment of big organizations. It's not the moment of big government. It's not the moment of, any self-appointed guru who's going to go out there and tell the world how it's going to live and what this is going to look like. It's our moment where we get to co-create, where we get to align with our natural abilities, align and begin to develop our skills again. We have all skills we need, inside, outside, physical, spiritual, mental. And this is so important right now. If you're not dedicating your time to this, please begin doing it, because we're galloping. We're galloping towards this moment, and it's going to be a shift moment. And it's going to be very clear in that moment too. Where do you want to go? Which side of the creation are you going with? What are you creating for yourself? What is your vision for your life, for your family? What is the vision what is the environment? What is the spherical room, if you will, that you want to live in, you want your family to live in? What is that? That's what's coming up this moment. And the clearer we become this vision for us, and I'll share this with you because it's a vision that's been with us now for a decade. That's so powerful. Our vision is to be in a true co-creationship with nature, and to be completely independent in that, to be completely self-sufficient, to feel like true 100% human beings again, not biorobots, to be responsible for our own physical health, for our well-being, for the food that we grow, to have clear and clean water on our land, and to be in a community with others that have some of those same ideas and some of those same principles and fundamental wishes. And it's in pure freedom. It's not that we want to force this on the world. It's in freedom. We want to be in sync with nature and animals and live like that. In a lot of ways, we have worked on this vision, embodied this vision. We are embodying this vision. And so that is and to have teachers and schools again that nourish the true wisdom that's within all of us, that teach children about the wonders, about what is all inside of them, about their talents, that show them what their strengths are, that allow children to follow their curiosity, to see how to think, not what to think, and to build a world where we can be friends across, all the visible and invisible borders that we've created, across the boundaries, of what we have boxed ourselves in, if that's religion or if that's, the color of your skin, where you're from, what country you're from, that we can reach across those boundaries and borders and shake hands and see that we are one family, and still accept each other for the difference that we embody, and that is okay. Then we can have our country, and that you can have your country, and that we can have our communities, and that you can have your communities, and that we can be friends and sharing kindness rather than hostility, and to realize that when we embody some fundamental principles together, there's so much more than enough to go around, that there is an abundance of everything on this planet, that we are not running short on everything if we do it right, if we don't do it the way we have been doing, which is a completely out of balance system. But all of that is not just a possibility. It's already a vision. And in many ways, it's already manifested. In many countries, many areas, it's already being done. And to have, real, beautiful, organic food, real food. I remember even as a kid, what food tasted like. And I remember we would sometimes go on vacation to countries that didn't have any of the chemicals, pesticides, GMOs, any of that. And the food tasted so amazing. I would never, ever have touched candy or never, ever have touched anything in those countries because the fruits and the vegetables just tasted like way better and way sweeter and it was just beautiful. And so all of this is in our vision. And creativity, arts, art, real singing, beautiful music, beautiful coming together, craftsmanship, people building something with their hands and having the satisfaction, the fulfillment, all of that, poetry, real theater to play out the beauties of life and the stories of life. There's so much bonfire sitting together and talking and celebrations, all of those things we envision and we see and we live those things. This is the shift moment that's coming. It's so powerful, but we need not just wait for it, hope for it, and react to whatever is happening. We need to create it. We need to take back our power and realize it's always been us. But we can be a passive reactor and a victim of our reality, or we can be the active creator, the thriver, the prosperer in our reality and of our reality. And that's a choice we all have to make now. It is a choice, trust me. Trust me, I have seen myself in periods of my life as a victim of my reality. I believed that it was, that person's fault or this government's fault or whatever. It's over. I'm over that. I'm not a victim of this reality. I'm a co-creator, and I want to push my vision on you. I want to see how much our visions might be alike. I want to see how I can help you thrive. I want to see how I can elevate you. I don't want to be the ruler of anyone's reality. I want to be a co-creator with you. And this is because so many people feel that way. And we have the wonderful fortune that we're connected to beautiful people all across the planet that are doing this on a daily basis. Their minds, their hearts, their hands, everything is already directed towards that vision. And they are truth speakers. They're not afraid of saying what's going on in the world right now, but they don't see it as something that's set in stone. It just is a tool to help people say, this is what is really going on. And if you need to hear this today, there's a blueprint. This story that's unfolding on the planet, what governments are doing right now, what organizations are doing, there's a blueprint for this. We know what the end goal of this blueprint is. We've read it in many, many official documents. It's not hidden. It's out there. It's very clear where this is going. We've talked about this in other live streams. We'll probably talk about it again. But the point here is that we are not bound to their blueprint. It's not my blueprint. It's most likely not your blueprint. You haven't even thought about those things. Atrocities, if you think in many ways. None of us have thought about this or want this. So why do we behave as if we are somehow tied to this? Aren't you a free being? Weren't you born with the same rights, with the same inalienable gifts? Weren't you born in the same energy as everyone else of having freedom of choice and deciding on what your life's going to look like and how you can create it? You were born with those freedoms, and it's time to realize that again. There is no nation, there is no company, no organization, no government, no anyone who has the authority or the right to force you into any action or force you into any way of living or force you into anything that you don't want. It's our time to realize that again. It's our time to take back that power and live it. This is not a violent power. Only if you want to impose your will on others and force your way into their lives, you need violence. For what we're talking about, you'll never need violence because we don't want to impose our will on others. We just want our freedoms to be respected. We just want our self-responsibility for our lives to be respected and seen. And you got to make it seen because all the others that are forcing this other thing, they're making themselves seen and heard. So you have to be seen and heard too. And again, this never happens through violence. It would violate everything that we stand for if we would ever encourage violence. It's love, it's strength, it's vision, it's power, it's kindness, it's cooperation, and it's peaceful non-compliance. Anything that you do not align with, anything at all, don't comply with it. Step into a new vision. There will be a possibility, a potential. There will be another way for you. You cannot do things in fear of negative consequences. That's a downward spiral. It leads to death. Not that death is a bad thing and that death doesn't exist. It's a transitioning in another realm. But even that part, I wanted to be on my terms. I wanted to be in the same spirit of co-creationship as everything else. So peaceful non-compliance and stepping into the vision, what's that for you? And if you haven't answered those questions, maybe it's time. What do I really desire in my life? What does a beautiful reality for me and my family look like? You know, how do I want to live? Do I want to be on someone else's schedule or on my own schedule? Do I want to thrive or do I want to survive? You know, answer those questions for yourself and throw realism out the door for a minute here, because realism was invented by those who wanted you to live in their reality. That's the realism they talk about. Realism was invented by those who wanted you to live in their reality. Now, set your own standards. Create your own vision. Step into it, because this moment, this period that's coming that we're galloping towards, it's going to require us to be clear on that. It's going to require from us to be strong and to be in a state of knowing, not limbo, not doubt, not worry, not fear, not anxiety, but in a state of purity, of knowing this is who we are. This is what we stand for. This is our path. It's very, very important. It's in our hands now. It always has been. We just didn't realize it. So we keep coming back. We keep reincarnating, coming to new lives to seize another opportunity to realize this, that we are the forgers, the creators of our destinies, co-creators. It's an important word here, because we don't want to, we don't want to jump into this ego mind, me, mine, me, myself, and I. That's not what this is at all about. It's about a co-creationship in a grand scheme of things.
Oh, there's so many comments.
I can't wait.
Yes, you'll have to read them later.
Just so you know, I want you to know this. Loving tribe, beautiful people. I always go through all the comments. I take the time because I love the expansion of love and power that happens in the live streams. The way your hearts are open, the way you pour your spirit into these beautiful words, and it inspires me. I don't just read it out of curiosity. I'm truly inspired by your power. And sometimes I have tears in my eyes. I sit here for a while after the live stream. I read the comments. I have tears in my eyes just because I can feel you. And I do feel you. Every morning I wake up, I connect with the great spirit, with God, and I have a conversation that's private, that's intimate. But I connect with all of you too. And I ask, how can I help you today? How can I be of service today? That's my question. How can I be of service today? I follow that mostly. Sometimes, I might get sad about something. I might get angry about something. I lose my way for a minute, but I return to it. I return to the thought, okay, if this upsets me, if this doesn't sit right with me, how can I be of service? How can I be part of the change? That's our question. Christine and I ask this question so often. How can we be of service? And we let God, we let the universe, we let you all guide us in that and show us where we're needed and what's needed. And we just aspire to be there and do it. So not about taking credit, not about boosting egos. It's about being inspired for us and being authentic and being with you guys. That's the journey we're on. And we love this. We enjoy this. We have actually, I want to say that when you are on purpose, you can put 18 hours into a day and be very, very active in things, and it doesn't feel draining. Yes, you sleep really well, no question. You don't have a problem falling asleep. But what I mean is, when you're on purpose, nothing feels like hard work anymore. Nothing feels like, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. It becomes a very beautiful stream. And we are here. This moment that we've been waiting for, and the thing is, it never looks the way you thought it would look. It's just the nature of things. You just have to trust that inner knowing, but it never looks the way you thought it would look, and it usually gets better than you could have anticipated. That's been our experience. So, tribe, we're in for beautiful things. We want to join every one of you. 250 people today in the live stream and more at some times. I know it was spotty. I don't know if this is a big number for YouTube. Guys, come on. You can do better than this. You don't have to destabilize this connection. So, tribe, we're going to be back on Monday, 2 p.m. Central here with you all and dive into a new but always interconnected journey, as you can see. Please check out the link on the top. Also subscribe to our other channels. Yes, I'm hearing you. Rumble, YouTube, the second channel, and now Kristin, the wise voice, is gonna Yado. Yes.
And practice clients, because I think a lot of people would kind of.
Let's start with the practice clients. Okay, guys. So this is actually, as always, I mean, she lets me yap away here, and then she puts in the real important stuff and the wisdom stuff. So Kristin and I are teaching a wonderful group of junior coaches that are in the process of becoming life coaches and helping others. And life coach probably doesn't do it justice, the word, I mean, for the lack of a better term. And they've been in the academy now for 7 months. They're doing really well. They're expanding. They're becoming really good. They're learning a lot of techniques and processes. And they always, always, always need practice clients. Practice clients doesn't mean that you're guinea pigs. It just means that in order to become really good and fluent at all these processes and in the coaching process itself, we encourage people to become practice clients, which is now free of charge, but you are always, always encouraged to contribute if you want to and send a small contribution if you want to. But they can help you wherever you are in your life, whatever your destination is, your vision is. Maybe you don't know what the vision is exactly, but you just know you want to change. They might be really able to do some really good things with you if you give them a chance. And so if you want to become a practice client and work with one of our junior coaches, it is exactly as if you would go to a already certified real life coach, just that they're still practicing, but they're becoming very good. And we've seen some amazing results in people that have worked with them. So again, for now, it's free of charge. It's a really good opportunity. Just send us an email to 365inspiredliving@gmail.com if you want to be a practice client, no matter where you are in the world. And we will send it to our junior coaches and someone will reach out to you. So that's a wonderful thing. And the second thing we wanted to invite you for, we're slowly but surely reaching our limit on the group size, but there's still a few spots available for the upcoming Yado retreat, September 30th to October 3rd in Cape San Blas, Florida. That's going to be a big energy shift experience, 3.5 days that we're going to spend with you guys. And the idea is, and we never do this, oh my God, we can change your life in 3 days. First of all, we don't do that. We don't change, you change. But what we can do is create an energy shift together in 3.5 days that will allow you to create those wonderful, beautiful changes in your life, that will give you ideas, tools, principles, and techniques on what you can do and how you can move forward. So that's what we're going to do in 3.5 days. So you can check it out. It's all in the links, in the link on the top of the live chat pinned there. All the links are there. Just check it out. All things inspired. And we're going to be here again on Monday, 2 p.m. Central. And we're going to dive into another beautiful topic together. Meanwhile, we'll tune in with you in the other realm. We'll communicate and we'll continue to ask, how may we serve? Inspired Tribe, we love you all. Thank you for being with us. And we'll see you again very soon.